Hi, I'm Christine Weber. In this video, I'm going to be demonstrating some of the principles of sequencing for the nervous system that can be super helpful for folks who might be experiencing exhaustion or fatigue or even depression. So this is just a teeny little glimpse into the window of sequencing that is, very nuanced and sophisticated, but I hope this is helpful for you in understanding how I approach yoga classes. Now, one thing we're going to be using in this video is retention, and retention is the pause at the top of the inhale. Some people think it's like breath holding, but breath holding often looks like, until you turn blue. That's not retention. Retention is inhale, the epiglottis stays open, and there's a feeling of pause before you exhale. So it's not a holding, and that's a really important distinction to understand when you're working with the nervous system. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so we're going to begin lying down on the back. You want to get comfortable. One of the principles of sequencing, one of the most important principles of sequencing for the nervous system is meet the mood. So you help people to come to a practice from where they are. And if somebody's really exhausted and you say, do 108 sun salutations, that's not going to work, right? So we start where somebody is. So you come down onto your back and get comfortable. And take a moment here to just tune in. How does your breath feel? How does your body feel in the moment? What does your energy feel like? And if you're not feeling particularly tired in the moment, just remember a time when you were struggling with energy for whatever reason. And then we'll begin by just kind of twirling the right wrist. Just make some slow, easy, comfortable kind of circles. You can let your hand be floppy, or you may want to make a fist here. And just kind of twirl it around like, I don't have much to do here. Just taking it easy. And then we're going to add the left ankle. And kind of feel that there's some coordination between your left ankle and your right wrist. You're just sort of playing and feeling a coordination. And maybe go the other direction if you like. Sort of like, I could do this all day kind of feeling. Really easeful. And when you're ready, let that hand and foot come to rest and notice the residual radiant sensations in the ankle and the wrist. And then as you feel ready, same thing with your left wrist. You start to spin it a little bit. I've worked with people who are in bed because of chronic illnesses, and we often start with this kind of practice. And where we're going to go today is going to be much more than I did with folks who, than I do with folks who have chronic illnesses. But this is often the same principle. Now I'm going to start to spin my right foot into it. Just get my right foot going a little bit. You can go in the opposite direction if you like. And just a few more. Just slow, mindful, taking your time. And then let all that relax. And take a nice long breath. And then when you're ready, we'll start to make circles with both ankles and both wrists. Letting things move slowly, mindfully, just like I have nowhere to go. And I'm not anticipating what's coming next. I'm just here in this moment, just spinning my wrists and ankles, which can seem really silly sometimes. Like, what am I doing this for? But we're just starting to wake up the nervous system, and the joint rotations can be super helpful for that. Just let the nervous system know that we're bringing some kindness and some slow healing movement. So when you're ready, you can just let that go and take a moment and pause and notice. And though I mentioned that I've used this a lot with folks who are struggling, and might have chronic health problems, I also do it in my regular old yoga classes because a lot of people are really tired. Okay, turn your palms down. And then we're going to start here with an exhale. let your breath out. And then when you're ready, the right arm reaches up towards the ceiling and up over your head onto the floor behind you. Just a nice slow breath, and then it floats back down. And then we'll do the same thing with the left arm. Some people, if they have shoulder struggles, might be better bending the elbow as you extend the arm. That might feel better. So you kind of bring the hand in front of the face going up and in front of the face going down. Some people like that better. Next time you take your right arm up, also flex your left foot. Inhaling the right arm up and the foot flexes, and exhaling down, just kind of enjoying the smooth flow of the movement and the breath. Again, nowhere to go, nothing to do. Just taking it easy here. One more time on each side. You might be going faster than me, or you might be going slower than me, and that's good. Go at your own pace. Just follow with the breath. Now, next time when you bring your left hand down, we'll pause here for a nice long breath. And then we're going to take both arms up, and now we're going to add that retention. So inhale, both arms up, the feet flex, pause for one count, and then exhale down. Remember that pause, the epiglottis stays open. Next time, inhale, arms up, feet flex, pause for 2 counts. Then your counting and your breathing is going to be your own, not mine. So take your time. You can go faster than me or slower than me. Well, this time we'll pause for 3 counts. And when you come down, just rest and notice. Just starting to bubble the energy up a little bit here, that's all. Taking our time with that. It's a great one to do if you're feeling sick, or just exhausted. Just do a little bit of movement. Okay, next bring the feet up flat. And the next movement is a bridge pose. So inhale, lift the hips and the arms. You don't have to lift your hips much, maybe an inch. Exhale back down. You don't have to lift your arms at all. You can keep the arms on the ground if you like. Inhaling, lifting the hips again. Then exhaling, lowering down. Some folks might want to lift the hips higher, but again, remember a time you felt really tired. You might just even push into your feet and not lift your hips much at all. So do 1 or 2 more of these at your own breathing pace. Inhaling up and exhaling down. The other thing you can do is visualize if a pose is inaccessible for whatever reason, you just don't have the energy or shoulder injuries. Just visualize you're doing it. Last one. And when you finish, again, we'll pause here. So you get a moment to just kind of tune in, notice any little subtle shifts in your energy. Notice how your body's responding to the practice. And then you can take one arm up and roll to that side and use both hands to press yourself up to a seated position. You might want to sit on a chair here, or you're welcome to sit on a bolster or just on the floor. We're not going to be here that long, but you're welcome to sit. When you come up to seated, notice how it's a very different energy to be sitting up than it was to be lying on your back. So before we do anything, just tune into that. And we're going to take the hands to the center of the chest. When you're ready, on an inhale, allow the arms to come out to the sides. Lift your eyes. Kind of fill up your chest with breath. On exhale, let your hands come back. You may wish to change which hand touches your chest first, but you don't have to. Do that again. And this time, the top of the inhale, pause for 1 count, and then release back. Lowering the eyes on the exhale. And do that again. This time we're going to pause for 2. When you're ready, let the hands float back. We'll do it one more time. We'll pause for 3 this time. And then the hands come back to the heart again. And then let your hands rest down on your lap and just pause and notice. Tune in. Please make your way onto your belly. And the next practice is going to be a cobra. And we'll practice cobra also with the retention. So we'll do it 4 times. The first time there's no retention, and then we'll pause. Okay, so coming down, bring your forehead to the floor. Exhale completely. Nice, smooth inhale as you start to curl up into your cobra. And then on the exhale, float it back down. Take your time. If you want to take a breath in between, no problem. Take a breath in between. Next time, when you're ready, inhale. At the top of your inhale, pause for 1. That's a little more challenging in a back bend to pause. And then exhale down. And we'll do that again. Inhale, float up. At the top of your inhale, pause for 2. And release that back down. And last time, when you're ready, on an inhale, float up and pause for 3. And then release back down. And just rest. You can put your hands under your head if you like here. I'm just taking a moment to tune in and rest. Slowly come up to tabletop pose. Okay, so from tabletop pose, we're going to shift the hips back to child's or almost child's. You don't have to go all the way down. Elbows are bent, which is a little different than usual child's pose. When you inhale, start to come forward and sweep your right arm up in front. And exhale, come back down to child's. Coming back down to your elbows. And then do the same thing with your left arm. And then you take it back down on your exhale. Now, if you like, you could do right arm and left leg. And then you could do left arm and right leg. So that gives you a little balance, and it's a little bit more energy, using a little bit more energy to do this this movement. So we'll do one more on each side. Nice, smooth, fluid breath. And when you're ready, rest in child's pose. Take a few breaths. If that's not restful for you, feel free to sit up, or you could sit with your legs crossed, or even come back down on your belly if you like. We'll just take a few moments here to find a little bit of rest. And notice some of the effects of what we've been doing. And then take your time, and we're going to come up to standing. So again, whereas lying on your back feels really different than sitting up, there's another shift that happens when you stand. So that's something to notice. Of course, this has to do with the baroreceptors and blood pressure, of course, and all that stuff that happens when you move the body around. But it's an interesting thing to pay attention to and notice what your unique experience is. You're going to take the hands back to the heart center, lowering the eyes here for a moment. When you're ready, on your next inhale, the arms float out to the side, the eyes look up. And then exhale, and the arms float back and the eyes lower. We're going to do that 3 more times with our retention. You may also wish to lift your heels. This time, pause for 1. Exhale back down. It's like a sheet going up. And when you're making the bed, there's a little pause before it floats back down. This time, pause for 2. And exhale back in the heels, lower down, and the eyes lower. And then we'll do 1 more pause for 3. And then release back down. And release your hands by your side. Soften or close your eyes for a moment. And just tune in. Notice how your body is responding. And just be really mindful that you're not clenching that breath. You want the breath to feel very open and spacious. That's what we're working with here. The breath is the vehicle right into the nervous system. And then when you use postures with breath, you catalyze the effect. So let's take the right foot forward, left foot back, as much as you want. We're going to be working with warrior. This time we're just going to take the arms up over the head. But if you really like that out to the side, then feel free to do that. Okay, so starting with the front leg straight, exhale completely, and then use your inhale to smoothly flow into the pose. Eyes lift, and exhale, float back down. You don't have to lift your chin, but it can be super useful to lift your eyes for the energy. Inhale, this time pause for 1 count. Belly's really soft here. And then when you exhale, you use the abdominal muscles to help support that full exhale so you get another deep inhale. This time, pause for 2. Belly soft. Exhale, engage. This time, big breath. Pause for 3. And release down. And when you're ready, please step your back foot forward. Take a moment in your mountain pose and tune in. Notice how your breath feels and notice how your body feels. Okay, let's do the other side. So this time you're going to step the left foot forward, right foot back. And again, if you really like that out to the side, you can do that. I'm just going to do the arms sweeping up and down here. The main thing is that you're really focused on what you're doing with your breath. So let the exhale go. Just let it go. When you're ready, inhale, just practice the floating. And exhale down. Okay, now we're going to do our pauses. So inhale, 1 pause, 1 count pause. Exhale down. Let's do it again. This time 2 count pause. And this time we'll pause for 3. And as you're ready, step that back foot forward. And we'll come into mountain pose for a moment and notice the sensations in your body. This practice is not caffeine. It's not a stimulating practice. It's a gently nourishing practice. And I hope you can tell the difference. I'm going to close the practice here. The invitation would be to maybe do a little child's pose if you like. Or you could come onto your back and hug your knees to your chest and then take a few moments in Shavasana. I hope that this practice has demonstrated to you some of the principles of working with the energy, of working with the nervous system, and how it's a beautiful and sophisticated science. Please let me know what you think. Thanks so much for joining me.